You know, this is, excuse me, a damn fine cup of coffee. I've had, I can't tell you how many cups of coffee in my life, and this is one of the best.
You know, I want to ask you folks, how familiar are you with the show Twin Peaks from the 1990s?
Yeah, not so much.
I watched it a year or two ago for the first and only time, and I actually really liked it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like you watched the original.
The original.
1991?
Yes, only the original. That's the only one I've seen.
That's cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
It was like one of those on my to-do lists, and I just never got a chance to do it, and I finally did, and it took over my life. It literally ruined my life for a whole week because I watched the first two seasons, and then I jumped right into the movie Fire Walk with Me, and then I just finished 2 nights ago Twin Peaks: The Return, which is the third season, which came out in 2017. So it's literally 25 years later. It picks up, you know, the adventures of Agent Cooper and all that. And it was just, there's so much. Like, it breaks your brain. It's David Lynch. And it immediately made me want to build an EDH deck about it. So I asked my friends on Twitter, I said, you know, who's a good Agent Cooper? Because Agent Cooper is a very unique kind of person, especially with a magic card, because that's how I like to build my commander decks. Is I like to get inspired from usually bad movies or, you know, TV shows or whatever, and make something out of that. So Cooper was just impossible. I think the closest thing to an Agent Cooper in commander form is probably Jace Vryn Prodigy. Cooper's all about investigating, and then you also want to throw in like green because you want to put in a bunch of food because he's constantly eating cherry pie and drinking coffee and all this stuff, and I just wanted to make it really fun. But I'm just like, I don't know, I just built kind of a blue deck, so I actually went the complete opposite route. And the show is all about duality, and it's all about you know, good versus evil. So we are now transported into the Black Lodge, and I made this commander deck around Bob, who is, and again, last time for spoilers, I just want to say spoilers, because the least you know about Twin Peaks, the better, but I'm going to try to keep it as vague as possible. So Tymaret the Murder King is just the quintessential Bob, because Bob is a evil spirit that possesses different people into murder. You know, his whole the whole reason he's in existence is just for gratuitous violence. And who better than Tymaret the Murder King? And this is a commander that I used to run back in the day, and I ran it like you would run a Tymaret the Murder King deck, where you just are taking a lot of threaten effects, and you know, the goal play wise for this deck is to steal your opponent's creatures and to fling them back in their face, because he's a bear for black and red, so 2 for a 2/2, good numbers for a commander. And then you could do 1 and a red, sacrifice another creature. Tymaret the Murder King deals 2 damage to target creature or player. So, I'm sorry, not even creature. That would be too good. Just 2 damage to the face. And in commander, starting at 40 life total, that's not huge. That's not a great place to be. However, it is more about when we're threatening our creatures over, we're stealing or, you know, active treasoning our opponent's creatures. You're basically just removing everything that they have. So, and then the other thing is 1 and a black, sacrifice a creature, return Tymaret from the graveyard to your hand. So this is actually a commander, you know, that can go to the graveyard rather than the command zone, but you actually seek it out. You want him to go to the graveyard because he kind of gets around the commander tax, which is great. So that's him. Right next to is Bob. The actor that played Bob actually passed away right before they got to shoot the newest season, so that was sad. But I'm just gonna flip through real quick, and I'll get your guys' feedback. So here's my Tymaret, the Murder King, right there, and then the next person, I'm gonna go real fast, but this is Anax, the Hardened in the Forge, right? From Theros, and he is my. So there's a doppelganger Agent Cooper, and this is my doppelganger, Agent Cooper. So he is back, and when he dies or any of his friends die, then you get Satyr tokens. So I think that's a real, and he's got the whole devotion to Red. The next one up is, and if, for everyone that doesn't know, that's Agent Cooper right there drinking coffee, but that's the good Cooper. This one that I have a schmuck. This is Lyzolda the Blood Witch. And this is the evil side of what the whole entire show is based off. And that's Laura Palmer. Because Laura Palmer is...
Oh, yeah.
Everyone loves her, but she also has
bad.
She's got some badness to her.
Bad girl.
Bad girl. This is the only benevolent spirit in the deck as far as representation goes. This is a Molten Primordial, so it gives you a threat effect. It has haste. It's a 6/4. It's huge. But this is the fireman. So if anyone watched the show, this is the giant who is kind of the good spirit that presides over the White Lodge. Next up, we have Syr Konrad, the Grim. And this, this guy, whenever a creature dies, people get hurt. And so a lot of what happens when you die in the show and you wind up in the Black Lodge, well, this is Mike, the one-armed man.
He is Bob, eager for fun. He wears a smile. Everybody run.
So this is Mike. I have two Squees, because there's two Squees. So this is the man from the other place, or the arm, which is the little creepy bastard that dances and speaks backwards, that presides in the... You know what I'm talking about, PK.
Yeah, he's scary.
He's super scary, and he's got... and it shows Squee's toy, so the arm, who is his name in the show, is the... he has the ring, so that's kind of like... That's kind of flavorful with that, and that's this guy right here.
That's too funny.
You know, he sounds like this. Yeah, very scary. Next up, we have Judith.
I mean, no, that was even like way less scary than what he actually sounds like.
Right.
Yay, Judith.
Judith, the Scourge Diva. I struggled with this one. I thought that this could have been Laura Palmer, but there's actually an evil entity that's more prevalent in season 3. Who this one is? And her name is Judy. The demon name is Jade, but this is Judy, so Judith, of course, and Judy is kind of living in Sarah Palmer, so Laura Palmer's body. So that's a little bit of a spoiler, but not too bad. I'm not breaking the bank. Murderous Redcap. This is going to be the jumping man. So there's different evil spirits. This is the guy with the long nose. Looks like he should be in Slipknot. Then we have... You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. The Grim Haruspex. This is the Woodsman. And Bob was created from Judy. There was it was from the atomic bomb that went off in New Mexico when they were doing the first atomic bomb, when they tested it. So there went the Woodsman. So this is the he gets all the stuff. You get to draw cards.
That was a cons card, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
It is. Yes.
I remember that card.
And this guy has a famous line, "Got a light." Yeah, very, very scary.
So what does that card do? Is it a death trigger?
Yeah, so whenever... it's a morph, so Johnny, like you were playing last week, but whenever another non-token creature you control dies, draw a card. So what you're doing... I mean, it's so synergistic, too, because you're
oh, sweet.
Stealing shit, and then you're throwing it back in their face, and then you're getting to draw more gas as well. This is the Abyssal Gatekeeper. In that same episode 8 of season 3, you get introduced to the frog moth, which climbs in a little girl's mouth, and it's kind of scary.
God, this show is creepy.
Yeah,
it really is. Yep.
It's fucking terrifying. And this thing, when it dies, if Abyssal Gatekeeper dies or is put in any graveyard from play, each player chooses and buries a creature he or she controls. So this is an old one, Coach. That's from Weatherlight.
Dang.
That is really cool.
That card does some that can do some work.
Yeah,
that Grave Pact on a stick.
We're almost done. I promise. Rakdos Signet. This is going. I mean, you need mana in Rakdos anyways, but this also signifies the ring that I was talking about. So every time you die, you get the ring on your finger, and you wind up in the Black Lodge. And then you have the Rakdos Signet. This is the key to the hotel, the Great Northern, where Cooper stayed in the first 2 seasons. Room 315. You got a witch's oven because you have to make food. Whether it's good or bad or otherwise, it's Twin Peaks. You need cherry pie. The Dreadhorde. This is great for this deck, anyways. It's kind of like a little crappy Bitter Blossom because I'm broke. But it's this is the horde of woodsmen. Once the bomb goes off, they are now coming after you. And then, like I said, it has 21 threaten effects in all. So it's like literally a quarter.
You found 21 threaten effects?
21 threatening.
Holy
effects,
cow!
Right? So you are that is the whole thing. You are grabbing your opponent's stuff and you are slinging it back. And these are creatures and spells.
You have a Helm of Possession in there?
I don't. I do not.
Yeah.
I know. I need one.
Gotta get you squared away on that.
Last but not least. Oh no, I dropped it and I can't get it. Oh. It's the Stensia Blood Hall because it is literally the Black Lodge. Stensia Blood Hall is kind of a shitty Magic card, but we are talking about strict flavor here, and that is the epitome of the Black Lodge. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for indulging me. That is the newest EDH deck tech primer in the arsenal, and that is for Tymaret the Murder King, representing Killer Bob. Please go watch Twin Peaks. It is so amazing, so awesome. Do it.
It's wild.
It's wild. All right.
Yeah.
Where was the log? Exactly.
I know, right? You need a log, the log lady.
Where's the log?
I love the log lady. Well, okay. Well, to be fair, that would go more in the Agent Cooper centric deck, like the good side, because I want to make a good guy version of Twin Peaks also, and that's my bad guy version. So Log Lady would definitely go in that one.
That's true. Yes.
Log Lady.
Yeah.
Okay.
Log Lady.
Yeah. And I was just kind of goldfishing against myself. I destroyed the corrupt U.S. government deck with this thing. I could not, this deck is and just take a guess on how much this thing costs, sleeve to sleeve.
$30.
Less.
20?
Less.
$12.96.
It is about $18.95.
Oh my god.
For a very competitive EDH deck.
Yes, the ganger.